and welcome back to my crazy world. I'm going to jump right into my video today. I have something to talk about. Over the last couple of days, I've been receiving a lot of comments from people who I'm going to assume are fans of Joy Sparkle BS. Thank you for those comments, and welcome to my page and my crazy world. One of the things that's been popping up over and over and over again is people questioning why I say she should no longer make videos about DO5. Especially some saying I'm a hypocrite because I did make a video expressing my opinion of what was going on in the DO5 household. And again, if you want to see that, I'll put a link to it below so that you can review what I was saying. The reason why, though, I expressed that Joy should stop with her videos is not because I don't believe anybody should be talking about DO5. As a matter of fact, I believe everybody should be talking about it. This should have been something that had never been allowed to happen and should definitely not happen again. Okay, that family had 765,000 followers, subscribers, watching those videos every single day, seeing what was happening to those children, seeing what was happening in that household almost on a daily basis. And it took however long, I believe it was a year, just over a year that they were doing videos, for somebody to speak up. And I'm grateful and thankful to everybody who did speak up, whether it was the little guy who only had a few subscribers. I forget, there was a young boy who said something first in one of his videos, and he only had a handful of subscribers, or it was the major leaguers like Philip DeFranco, who, yes, may not have been the first one to bring this to light, but he was the one that had the most subscribers, and that's why it blew up the way it did. So I'm thankful for him to even creating that first video, because that brought it to the mainstream, and that brought this out into the open, and that stopped this. So that argument of who was first or who should get the credit is actually null and void. The credit goes to anybody who made an attempt. Okay. But the reason why I am stating Joy Sparkle should stop with the videos is simply because she has claimed she had contact with Rose and Tim. Now, of all these people, there are thousands of people out there, like I said, myself included, who have done videos regarding the DO5 situation, who have done videos wondering why this could have happened, who have re-uploaded the videos just to show, who have gone through these files to pick out the ones that show actual physical abuse and the ones that actual mental abuse. There are people who are doing this all across the world, and yes, there are hundreds and thousands of us. But out of those people, there are only a small handful of people who have had contact with Rose and her attorney Tim, as well as a small handful of people who had contact with Michael and Heather Martin. Now, out of those people, when the gag order came down, they knew to not talk anymore. Especially the ones who had contact with Rose and Tim, because they didn't want to put Rose and Tim in any situation where they would have to answer, did they follow the gag order or not. They didn't want to do that. And those people are, of course, most notable in the community that Joy is a part of, would be Based Mama and Chambers of the Heart. Now, those two women not only tried to bring this problem to the forefront, they researched and they found, or they were able to find a way to contact, I'm not going to say they found Emma and Cody's mother, Rose, because I wasn't a part of it, so I don't have all of the information. But what I do have an understanding of is they found a way to contact her, and definitely Based Mama, and I believe Chambers of the Heart was part of this too, found a way to get her an attorney so that she could go to Maryland and fight for custody of her children, because she was in another state. And that's not easy to do. You actually have to find an attorney in the state that you're fighting for custody of those children. And she was doing that in Maryland. So she had to leave her home state of, I believe, North Carolina, go meet this attorney that was being paid for by the help of Based Mama and Chambers of the Heart. Okay? Like I said, Joy was a part of that community. And for whatever reason, Joy somehow had communication with Tim. I believe with Tim, the attorney. I'm not as sure if she ever spoke to Rose directly. But she may have. If you have that information, please let me know. But I'm sure 100% that she has said that she communicated with Tim, the attorney. Okay? And she did say plenty of times that she had information on the case and she would be updating. And that was a little bit of a frustration that a lot of people had, because one day she posted about 7 or 8 videos stating she had information about this case and that she would be updating. Oh, when we heard that information, we were going to be surprised. I think the only thing that she spewed and any information in that day that a lot of us didn't know about was supposedly there was a moving van at the house at the time that the sheriff showed up to remove the children. Now, whether that's true or not, I'm not sure. Again, I wasn't part of that. I'm not part of the family. I don't have any connection to any of them. I am giving my responses to this based on my experience in family court and what I went through with my own child's custody, what I'm still going through with my own children's custody. Okay? So anyway, back to Joy. She was stating she had information regarding the case. And she was posting all these videos, as many as she could. And I'll be honest with you, I was watching them too because I wanted to know. I wanted to know what was going on with those children because my heart bled for them. Okay? Okay, so I wanted to know too, and I was watching these videos. And then a gag order came down. And I wasn't just watching Joy's. I was watching Base Mama. I was watching Chambers of the Heart. I was watching the videos on DO5's channel to see the apologies that they were making and the begging for help. I was watching the Philip DeFranco. As a matter of fact, what actually started me on this whole trip was watching the AB family, who was somebody I've followed for a few years now, was back in Vine and everything else, and seeing their response to the situation. I went, wait, what is going on here? Because I hadn't heard about it. And then when I heard about it, I went nuts. I was looking everywhere. And anyway, I found Joy. I found Joy Sparkle. And she was talking about it, and she claimed to have information. I was like, great, I want to know how the kids are doing. She never gave any information other than that moving van. But she did swear that she had information she was going to update over and over again. Whether she did or not, that's between her, maybe her and Tim, between her and God, between her and her fans. I don't know. All I know is this. She did claim to have contact with Tim, the attorney, possibly Rose as well. And she did claim that they had given her information about the case. And when that gag order came down on that Friday, everybody else went silent. Base Mama stopped talking. Chambers of the Heart stopped talking. There was no longer any news outlets trying to reach out to these families because the gag order had been set in place. And one thing Joy did say, that the gag order was for Rose and Tim. No, that gag order was for everybody involved in the case. Now, Joy is not involved in the case. Not yet. She could actually be, and I'll explain that in a minute. So anyway, Joy can say whatever she wants. She literally can say anything she wants to. And if she does have information about that case that somebody in the courtroom said to her, she can say it. But she'll be getting them in trouble. Because it'll come up in court, and they'll question who gave her that information. Because there is a gag order in place. So like I said, that Friday that gag order came down, and everybody went, shh. Base Mama went quiet. Chambers of the Heart went quiet. Everyone else went quiet. Joy did not go quiet. Joy continued to post videos stating she had updates. Now, here's the thing. She did not say any update in her video. Whatever. None whatsoever. She went to her video and said, I am not going to say anything because there's a gag order, but I do know what's going on. I'm not going to say anything because there's a gag order, but I do know what's going on. It was consistently over and over and over again. Yes, swear, a little frustrating. However, a little frustrating for the rest of you. However, though, watching that, I thought, oh God, this could get Rose and Tim in trouble. Because it could be that they never even talked to her. Again, I don't know. Not part of the case. It could be that they never even talked to her. But if somebody were to see that video posted after the gag order had been put in place, they could consider that there had been some sort of leak. And since Joy had been so adamant about how she had been in contact with Rose and Tim, anybody watching would conclude that that leak came from the camp of Rose and Tim. Simple. So what would happen is if somebody were to bring this back into court the next time around and swear that the gag order had been violated, they would come at Rose and Tim. Now here's the thing. They don't have to have proof. Literally, they don't. They will not subpoena Joy on that day to say, hey, you need to come in and prove this accusation we're creating. No, they're just going to accuse them. They're just going to say it. Okay? And now it will be up to Rose and Tim to prove that it did or didn't, that it didn't happen. Okay? Or Mike and Heather to prove that it did. So somewhere, now if it did definitely happen, well, that's a problem for them and that's something that they're going to have to face. Okay? But somebody's going to have to prove that. And this is where Joy might get involved with this case and could be a problem for her. Right now, she's not breaking any law.
Even if she has information about the case, like I said, she could talk about it. There is no gag order on her. It would be the person who told her that information that would have been breaking the law. Okay? Now, if somebody has given her the information, they could turn around and subpoena her to say, who gave you that information? Okay? Even if nobody has talked to her, if this accusation is created, they could subpoena her to try to find out who told her. See, now there's going to be where the problem for Joy comes in. If she's subpoenaed, she has to get her butt to Maryland to be a witness in that court. Okay? Well, we all know that she claims that she's sick and that's going to be a problem for her, so good luck with that. Okay? The second thing is when she's in court, she's going to have to say what she was told or wasn't told and prove that that's what she was told. So if she claims that Tim and Rose spoke to her and gave her this information, she's going to have to bring her phone records with her. You know, whether it be on her house phone or her cell phone. Most of us, it's cell phone. She's going to have to bring those records with her to prove that that's what happened. If she can't prove it, then basically she's going to come out and it's going to end up looking like she has made false claims. Now nothing will be illegal in court. I mean, if she goes to court and says that Tim and Rose talked to her and then it's proven that she didn't, she'll be in trouble for perjury. But if she goes to court and she says, look, never talked to anybody and I was just saying this to get views, likes, and subscribers, well, that's going to affect her channel. So that's where it can affect Joy. But you know what? In whole honesty, I'm not really concerned about her. Okay? I don't know her personally. I'm concerned about the children, and that's where I begged her to stop talking. Because she claimed she had been in contact with their mom and claimed she had been in contact with their attorney. Okay? That could cause an accusation. And right now, Rose is trying to reconnect with her children. I also want you to think about those children as well, too. At one point in time, they were snatched out of their mom's house. They were living there. That's what they were used to. And then all of a sudden, they were living with their dad. And then just a couple years later, if not even, they're snatched from their father's house again. Think about that. Think of how insecure they feel right now in their living situation. They don't know if tomorrow will be the day that it happens again because it's already happened twice to them. Think about children like that. You grew up in your house. Most of us grew up in our house. We grew up with our families, most of us. And we were there the whole time. We never were pulled out and moved in with another family member, pulled out and moved in with somebody we didn't even know. As a matter of fact, one of the things that I say is the most traumatic experience to my son is not so much the abuse, because believe it or not, that's what he was accustomed to, because that's what he lived it with. He thought that was normal. As a matter of fact, when he was removed from the home and placed in Child Protective Services, one of the first things he ever said to me when we reconnected was, Mom, I didn't know that this was a possibility. I didn't know that this was out there. I didn't know this could ever happen. I always thought I was either with you or Dad. I never knew this could happen. And that kind of scared me because I thought, wow, if he had known it could have happened, he might not have ever told anybody what was going on in his house, and he could still be there and still dealing with this. So I'm thankful in a sense that he wasn't aware, but the most traumatic part of his life for him was not just the abuse, it was being ripped from a home, because he had already been ripped from my home. He was used to living with me, and then just one day, up and comes the sheriff with this order, this bogus order. I talked about it in my past vlog, and I will post that down here as well. And then a few short years later, he is ripped out of his home again to live with somebody he doesn't even know. That's what's going on with those children right now. And Rose, as their mom, has to reassure them that they're secure. Children need safety. Children need to know they're secure to be able to be children. That anxiety that we all feel as adults, imagine having that as a child. Imagine not knowing tomorrow where you were going to live. Not because you didn't have money, not because you didn't have, a place to live, not because you had two parents fighting over you. Now, that in itself is another destructive situation. It's another vlog for another day, which is, I will do one maybe in the next couple of days to discuss how I dealt with my ex-husband and what was going on there. Because believe it or not, there was one time in my life that I looked at that man and I thought I wanted to be with him forever and I wanted to create life with him. And he actually created this trauma that I have to
help my son get through. And I will help him because I'm his mom and I love him. I decided to bring him into this world. And I decided to bring my daughter into this world too, so I will do whatever I can. But like I said, that is another story for another time. As far as it goes with Joy, if you're going to ask the question, here it goes. When I talk about DO5, I have no connection to the case. There would never be a situation where a lawyer would call me up and say, hey, how'd you know that? Who told you? Because I've never claimed to speak to anybody, and I'll be honest with you, I haven't. Like I wrote in a comment, I would not want that responsibility, okay? Joy, however, has claimed she has had contact with Rose and Tim. Or, I know 100% Tim. I think she said she's spoken with Rose, but I'd have to go back and look at videos again. Because she has claimed that contact, anything that she says about the case could be considered coming from them. And that could cause a problem for Rose and Tim. That is why Base Mama came out with her video. Now, do I agree with the way Base Mama put it? No, but that's who she is, okay? I'm not that person. No, I'm sorry. I can't say that I don't agree. Base Mama made that choice because that's who Base Mama is. I wouldn't have chosen to go that way. As a matter of fact, if you can all tell, I do not hate on Joy in these videos, these vlogs. I don't. Because I don't know her, I have no reason to hate her, okay? But I saw what she was doing, and I saw how it could hurt Rose and hurt Emma and Cody, and I decided I wanted to say something in hopes that maybe there would be an ear out there listening. So that's why I keep talking to you guys, because I'm hoping there's an ear out there listening. I'm hoping somebody's hearing what I'm saying and going, that's actually a good idea. I'm hoping that some of the ideas and some of the things that I say out there help to create a more positive situation for not only Rose, for Cody, for Emma, for anyone else going through this. Because believe me, there are a lot of us out there going through this. We just don't talk about it on a day-to-day basis. Because let me tell you, the first thing people said to me when they found out I lost my children is, what did you do wrong? Alright, so I'm going to leave you on that, okay? Didn't want to be a downer. I'm hoping, again, you're having a great day. Have an awesome week. I'll post some more at the later on this week. I'm hoping to finally get my son to actually put some of his vlogs up, because he's been actually filming himself out with his friends and stuff like that. So I'm hoping that he'll edit that together. But then again, he's 14, and well, 14-year-olds always get focused on something else. Have an awesome day. Peace, love, and happiness to you all. And remember, like, comment, subscribe. Tell me how you feel. Let's keep this going, peoples. Love you. Bye.